Fam.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, we've added that extra LCQ spot on as well. The third place team. We'll have a third, fourth playoff, and whoever wins it will take an LCQ spot back for the region, just the same as second place, and then first place still going to be taking home that world final spot. So going to be a lot of patriotism for the regions, cheering them along, because it's going to benefit everybody.
We've seen just how influential the LCQ can really be, haven't we? I mean, the team that comes immediately to mind for me being like STMN back a few years, you know, going through that grueling LCQ bracket of death it was, isn't it? And then going through the world finals, getting second place there and just coming shy to Zeta Division on the world stage. I mean, it really can elevate a team that have had a lot of struggles along the way to really land the mark and achieve greatness on that world final stage.
Now keep in mind, we have 4 contenders still for the Brawl Cup, and these are our 4 Trev, SK Gaming, Humble, Foot, and Eclipse.
Yeah, well, it's an easier road for...
First one to predict. So let's see if that is also reflected in our predictions for today, or if you just copied me again. Everybody did, apart from one. What's up with that quarterfinal number 4?
You know, every time you say it, Sonny, and I think I've got to make a stand here and demonstrate that we're not copying your homework, you know. I think, let's be honest, going back last month, who could have anticipated that Eclipse Esports would have gone the distance, knocking down Humble all the way, by the way, the 3-0 scoreline. I mean, they are the current reigning champions of the world. That's a big statements. And the question for me is, are they going to still be on top? Was last month a fluke? Have they got what it takes, and have they been doing the prep to maintain that position? Because it's one thing achieving it, but holding on to it and keeping that reign on a region like EMEA is a really, really tough ask. So, and they haven't got the easiest bracket either, but I just have a little bit of faith. I regretted not, siding for them last month, so I'm going to side for them this month.
I feel like we have a pretty fair bracket this month anyway, and yes, was it just a fluke? Can they do it again? For me, I just really went on scrim results again. Let's see if those stats will bite me later on again. Something that is really close to my heart that I'm super excited about. We do have a drawing contest in Brawl Esports, the Brawl Esports fan art contest. And we ask you to draw your favorite moments, your favorite players. You have the chance to win some gems. And the 4 most liked we're looking at right now. For each weekend of the BSC monthly finals, we'll have a vote between the 2 of them. So let's also have a look at the 2 that we are voting on right now. You have time until Monday, so head over to our socials right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a common theme here. A lot of Shitampo kind of fans, I think, in the Brawl Esports artist drawing community, I guess. But yeah, Dom and Sky.
Who will win? SK. Yes, sir. SK will win. Oh, those are two. Eh? Why not you? I believe, yeah, they have Joker. We'll not talk about one of the years. Who is say is your current bigger rival? No. It's one person. There's so many. End already. You don't spoil the I watch it. Close the tabs, please. Some all meet this is short. This is honestly, but I not feel like it's more lenient. Like even if you lose, you still will get chance. Is this better? Oh, oops. Wait. Alright, so I feel like this is better. Even though I can't really see much for me, but what's this? I can't see the map. It's hide. Bro, hideout people are just gonna pick Pearl. It's either a thrower game or a Pearl G game. Let's see. Hopefully SK don't disappoint me. I got 100 pro plus tickets on him. But now their price pool is bigger. I think it's 2 million, which is a lot. Oh, so they explain where I've been getting all my. Yeah. Bro, who Angelo first pick? There are like so many counters. Buster, Mandy, Squeak. Wait, who bans Kid? Which idiot ban Kid? I'm confused. Who bans Kid? Okay, I'll go for Griff. Honestly, they kind of outdrafted them already. Nani is very risky because Buster can counter both of you. Who can be a last pick for your team? Honestly, I think SK got outdrafted. They need a thrower. They need a thrower for me. Grom, Sprout, Larry, and Laurie. And then for wait, but if they are going bust, they can go Jackie. Oh, Meeple. I didn't think of that. But Meeple is very interesting because that means the opponent can just go a second tank actually. Because Buster is actually one of the best tanks. Okay. Okay. Honestly, from this, both got equal chance. The only problem with SK is that they will lose to Juju no matter what. So they really need to like make Meeple worth it. Alright, so it's gonna be Nani versus. Whoa! Oh, bro, how did OP miss? I mean, OP Joker. Okay, I don't think so. Any of them are running Vision Gear. Nani, OP already got super. Wow. Okay. Buster is dodging. The Bell is doing very good. Yeah, I think LLC wins this game. They got outdrafted. Like, again, they shouldn't have picked Angelo first pick. But now they can counter attack because all the walls are destroyed. Okay, never mind, the walls are not destroyed. But Angelos can maybe push up. He just need to get one good hit. Never mind, he's not getting the good hit. Joker, come on. I don't know how Ope is losing to. I can't see who's the belt is because the name is too small and too long. But kind of surprised. Not surprised. Cause again, no, don't first pick Angelo. That's dumb. Just first pick a thrower, then you can double like Buster or like Buster or someone. Wow, 2 minutes pass already. Okay, I don't know how did Ope miss his super. Bro, just hit the wall if you can. Don't. Yeah, GG. There's no way they can come back. They don't have the DBS. Unless Nani can hit every single shot, there's no way they can come back. Looks like the first set goes to LLC. Hey, where's Lanena? I guess he joined. I don't know where he joined. Wow, they are young. Wow, they. Because the minimum age is 16 and the Gusty guy is turning 16 this year, so he can play next year, I think. But wow, they're young. First of all, I don't know how Nani is losing the bell. Okay, come on. Gadget. Isn't Joker... Yes, this should be a clean kill. Never mind. They should pick like Grom. Cause Grom is actually, if you don't know what you're doing, can actually go very bad. Like, horrible. Yeah, Joker, I think kind of washed. Let's see how. They're winning right now, but again, it's the same situation as the last game. Oh, but they made the box him in. Oh! Wow, a kill. Wow, yeah. Buster's dead. There's no way he can survive, yeah. And Nani is doing okay. Yeah, he's winning his lane, which is good. Meeple getting the control, but it's not in the controversial situation because. Wow! Finally, Nani gets a kill. But Bell did very well last game, so maybe. Wow, both box. It means they can't do anything right now. Okay, wow. I think honestly Bell is throwing. Never mind, Bell is not throwing. Actually, what is Buster even doing? But no, Buster yes putting pressure, but anyways. SK sucks, no they don't. So wait, no, they're not changing lane. I'm surprised. I would change lane. Angelo should fight Bell and none. Wait, never mind. It's... Oh, GG. They can push on Buster now. Never mind. Joker missed that very important shot. Buster is kind of dead cause now he's holding onto his gadget. If Yoshi has a gadget, he should use it right now to clear the bush. Yes. Good job. Nice. Juju is kind of feeding cause she's not even getting a kill. It's Buster that is putting a lot of pressure. Joker hitting his shots. I think that was a smart move by Ope. Now Ope also do just push his lane up. Yoshi is just existing. A hit? No hit by Yoshi. A beautiful block by Buster. Unfortunately no locks. Oh, can they win this? So only 7 people thought that will win. Mostly a lot of people just think that they only know SK, but actually LLC is also pretty good. It's just they are young. Wow, okay, they should have gotten a kill, but I guess I forget Juju pop her gadget. Okay, Nani and Bell hasn't even killed each other yet, which is kind of concerning for Nani. Like, bro, you counter Juju. I mean, you counter Bell. Okay, Joker can get a kill. Yes, GG. Set 1 to SK. Set 1, let's go. There's no way they can come back unless Bell hits all her shots right now. It's GG. Nani did nothing the entire game. All he did was get on kill. Wow, 33k healing by Buster. That's a lot. I mean, it's okay for... Honestly, Sam would have been better. Like, if you're actually good with Sam, Sam would have been good. But Joker actually hitting... How? Yeah, Nani was losing his lane. 194. Juan Carlos 011. It's still better. 443. Wait, oh yeah, Buster got all the kills in the first game. Yeah, Joker carried this game. He did very well, but Yoshi also helped him got the kills. Ope and Daikai just existed for the entire... They didn't do shit. Okay. Game 2 will be Gem Grab. I have no idea what the Gem Grab match is. So they just need to win the best of 5. Should be fine. Oh, last stop. Wait, last stop. Oh, it's the one where I forget who. Someone in SK did the Taiwan double hyper. I forget. Anyways, Bell's rock for 3rd. I don't really like it how Brawl was always the last or second last, cause Brawl happened so fast. But again, I think all random one lah. I want to give him a different chance. Okay, for this, I feel actually Gale's should be and Gale will be banned. I don't know if the other team will be traumatized by Tara. Brawls that will be banned will be like okay, Juju will be banned every game. Mr. P will be banned. Okay, Tara got banned. Lumi got banned. Okay, the one that I don't understand is Squid. Okay, Squid is maybe because can area control. Chester, okay, he's one of the best brawlers. Buster again. They clearly didn't watch 2023 where Jackie dominated Buster. But now both of them have hyper charges. Wait. Okay, check. Give me 1 sec. Oh. Gene into a Buster is crazy, bro. Gene into a Buster is guaranteed 50-50. Okay, so let's see what they go next. Alright, I just charged my phone. Alright. They didn't ban Cow. Wow. Wow, Cow in Jean and Cow. Actually that's very good. See how they'll counter. They need mid. I suggest go who ah? I'm thinking of the balls. Penny would work. But wait, Cow might counter Penny. No, Colette is for Buster. Honestly, my ask Max. Wow, Max. Oh, no way, Max. What chat in 3 hours gonna be my birthday. Just in 3 hours. That's crazy. I'm gonna be waiting for a while before I do something. Wait. Ralph for the blue team. So you're telling me okay, so Buster is Max is gonna go center hopefully. Ralph is and Buster's gonna have to decide who goes where. I think Buster will work in the right and Ralph will work for the left. In this case, pick Colette. Actually Colette might be a good pick. Hang! Wow! Hang! It just and the crazy thing is that all 6 of them have hyper charges. It used to be last year not all had. Now all have. Wow! Yeah, Buster's going left. Wait, no. Why? Buster can counter Hang Wall. Oh! Okay, wait. I'm surprised why everyone's still using the same skin. For me, I will use the Leopard Max skin, but okay. What? Is everyone become Tensai? Yeah. Okay, Evergene is a classic. Wait, what skin for Cow is that? I have no idea what skin for Cow is that. Wow, but Buster shouldn't have push up. Honestly. Yes, good for control, but G has a super. One pull and it's over. Let's Hang and Cow. Cow, I have no idea what is he doing. Buster can use a gadget if he still has it. Yes. Pull and free kill. Oh, I don't know how that was not free kill. Okay, now in this situation, Ralph has to fight. It's okay if they somehow reset. Hank has to come back. Okay, Jin has to make the pull. Ralph make the last. And GG. Wait, no. Wow, Buster almost died. Honestly, now SK is kind of old. Let's see round 2. Will they change? No, they don't change. I actually thought they'll change. Neither did the opponent for some reason. Like, actually I'm surprised why is Jin losing to Max. Like, bro, just hit your shots. It's not that hard. Okay, to be fair, your hang is feeding. Like, bro, I only saw Jin pick up a gem during the entire game. Ralph is carrying his lane hard. Like, bro, 2 power ups already. Hyper charge in less than 30 seconds. In esports, bro. What's Hank doing? Imagine Vekas play. It was Hank right now. But G needs to actually make a pull to actually come back. Okay, Buster can pick up that power up easily. But Buster also needs to protect Max. Yes. Yes. And Ruff can go up. Ruff can push up already. Yes. Honestly, but yeah, Buster's having a hard time with Carl. Oh! Nice. And I think that's GG. Unless Hank can somehow get his hyper charge and win. Nope. Not even close. Okay, Max dodge Carl's gadget. Ruff has the hyper, giving it to Max, most likely. Max getting the last gem. He's not picking up the hyper, that's smart, cause it instantly gives you a hyper. Max is just waiting for his. Oh! Oh! Humans got the pull off. Wait, why can't you pick up that? Huh, that's weird. Okay. Anyways, GG. Buster is one of the best brawlers at 1v3. And that's GG. There's no way Carl can make a comeback. Alright, GG. 2-0. The next one is gonna be knockout. It's gonna be very interesting because this is one of the most tense map ever. Like, anything can happen. So, I'm gonna be back around chat. Just watch, I guess. Wait. Chat, I need help. Heretics? Oh, it's SK. Alama. I thought it was Heretics because it's not Himbo. Definitely it's not Himbo. Ah, my bad. Oops. Wow. Wait. The team had 0 gems. That's so sad. Like, 0 gems. Okay, I'm gonna be right back now, guys. Oh, they drafted a. Okay, I have no idea who picked who. Why is Buster picked every game? I get it, he has a hyper charge. Buster's always been good. Wait, I think on go kid. Wait, did they bank it or what? Yep, they bank it. They bank it. Wait, but why would you go hang? Go. Is hang banned? Hang is not banned. Go hang. Like bro, hang can win. This is a map where hang has so many angles. They choose not to pick hang. Who's that? Grey. Grey Buster doesn't work. They should go like a troll. No one went troller. Grey, I think no. I think that's what. So alright, let's see how this goes out. How does Bus? Oh wait, no, wrong guy. Okay, Juju is winning her lane obviously, but not for long. She must get her super, but then make sure they're not feeding anyone super. Yes, nice. Okay, Great doesn't. Oh, that pool will actually change the game. But it's just Grey versus Jean right now. Like Angelo is just putting pressure. Daryl and Buster are chilling, and Juju is just trying to win. But right now, oh, it's already going in. Wait. Wow. They both poof. One sec, let me check. Alright, chat, I'm back. I had to do something.
Once again, but nothing able to follow up here, and OP being kept so devastatingly low for SK Gaming. Yoshi.
Yeah, I just got back.
Yeah, good decisions from SK there, just to kind of accept defeat, because there were two hyperchargers available there, and they are a squad that can definitely 2v3 a scenario. So this is the right call. There's OP going in. In fact, all three going in as well. Wow. All hyperchargers popped, and they get rewarded for it. 3 versus 2 in favor of SK Gaming. Quite the difference maker now, and quite a key point in this series as well, because the next round will take the game, and that's going to be a match point. It's going to be a Brawl Cup point scenario for SK Gaming if they can do just that.
I mean, that was lovely from SK. You see, Joker just, OP just popped his hypercharge and knew he was going to be able to catch up enough. And then Joker comes in with his hypercharge and pulls him into the range of the gadget of OP. Just such a large amount of things being used by SK Gaming, but it's so beneficial to make this a 3v2 situation. Yes, LLC might have a couple of hypercharges now, and it's a possibility, but not anymore. 3v1, Ramika all alone. OP's pretty much guaranteed to be going down, but he might be able to do it, actually. TP away from Joker so he can't continuously feed that super and keep going. And SK Gaming heading to match point.
The synergy of this SK Gaming draft, what's not to love, you know? Really is absolute perfection. and you can just see the level of prep that SK Gaming are coming in with here today. You know, I've got Humble to go all the way in my predictions, but I mean, it's looking like SK Gaming are really on form, and I can't wait to see their run if they continue this up and get this first quarterfinals game going their way. But LLC, you know, it was that first set glimmer, wasn't it, that we thought, ooh, where's this going to lead? But they've not really shown us anything since then. And it's make or break now. This is really the crunch time for them.
Nice.
The piercing connection there from Yoshi, and do see Joker following up with another shot, but couldn't quite find the connection. Zero getting hit now, and there was another chance for Yoshi to finish him off there as Joker made a couple of connections and brought him low. Ramika has the super, one of his own over this right-hand side, looking to maybe try and get a roll, but into three of them, it's such a difficult thing, and they're just staying so grouped up, which does put them at risk of getting gene pulled, but also he doesn't really have anywhere near it at the moment.
Yeah, SK have done a great job really of depriving him of that utility. Now Yoshi just really showing them off, but really barely in their faces, rubbing it in, and now SK Gaming get the upper hand yet again. A 3 versus 2, coming in, but not really so much dismay for SK Gaming. They carry very quickly. Zero goes down, Ramika the last man standing, and he then quickly falls also. SK Gaming 1 round away now from locking themselves in for the Brawl Cup in Dallas.
A little bit of a shield there from OP, but just chose to use it just in case. Ramika managed to get a couple of shots in and keep him low. Another piercing gadget there from Yoshi as he gets the connection onto the Gene. Just trying to work up some hypercharge, I imagine, but a pull is available, so being grouped up like this is quite risky. OP's going to have to time the shield pretty perfectly well, or the same with the Joker TP away.
This is gonna be a gene pool to land, and you can't go for the grey, and you know, there's a lot of other worrisome things that SK could bring beyond that too. They're playing impatient. OP popping hypercharge now and is forced back LLC. He might choose to retreat. I think he's going to do just that, and it is the play. The gene pool is not something they want to play into. They want to buy some time and just kind of like a bit of a fake out there. I don't mind it necessarily from SK Gaming. They're still looking very composed, and OP immediately has a shield. Nice fucking cane there from Joker. A gadget pop immediately there for LLC. Did a dividends down. Ramika goes in. It's 1-2 versus 2 now.
Great block there with the shield on the gene pull from OP. Gets some damage. The piercing shot again from Yoshi. Two of them pop at the same time. The burn down damage from the Angelo Hyper. Beautiful stuff from SK Gaming. And although one player drops, the other two are more than enough to clean it up. And beautiful stuff from SK Gaming as they win this game, head to the semis, and head to the Brawl Cup as well.
They get their golden ticket, so congratulations to them once again from my side as well. Not only winning today's first match of the day, quarterfinals, they head into semis now and can still roll through, maybe even make it into the grand finals. We're going to find out later on. Again, for me, it was a bit of a draft diff here, as well as mechanically, SK just seems to be a bit more experienced still than the LLC roster. It is their first time in the monthly finals, after all, for the Kai, Seaver, and Ramika. The Daryl, he couldn't dare to roll into 3 players at work.
I didn't see that many mistakes in their gameplay, honestly. It was just all about the draft. And against a team like SK Gaming, whose draft today was immaculate, I mean, they were always really kind of running uphill for me a little bit. Correct? But I mean, I don't think it was the worst of showings. I think we'll probably see them again this year, for sure, in this season. They've got every opportunity to keep improving along the way. They've got some great results, and I think we'll see them again.
Again, for me, it was really just the better tankier as well. Now, looking at the 4 teams that can still make it into the Brawl Cup, one of them has already made it, so there's only one more ticket to give away here. What a beautiful crown they got so far already. Is it going to be Humblefoot or Eclipse are now that will snatch away that second spot that EMEA has? We're going to find out later on, Trev.
I mean, they're all laying in the bottom half of this bracket as well. Humble versus Totem, which is looking at form, one that should go Humble's way, so they should get to the semis. And then Foot and Eclipse are Esports fighting for their lives to go to the Brawl Cup in that bottom, the far bottom, as they're the 4th quarter final. Both of them have the possibility of going, but you know, it's going to be a very tough matchup between the two of them, because one of them is going to be cut off right there.
Certainly as well for like Humble for Eclipse or Esports, making the grand finals makes the outcomes of the other teams not really that relevant in that regard as well. So, you know, ever more important this month more than ever, make those grand finals, ideally win the whole thing and just lay down the mantle. But this is a region where things are really going to be starting to heat up, and everyone is going to be giving their all here today.
We're going to look at a bit more detailed
But
checklist later on.
let's
As
look at
already
chat.
mentioned for Humble and for Humble and Active, so it's really just you want to make it to the finals.
Who's
For Foot,
asking?
you have to make it to the finals and kick out
Oops,
Humble
wait,
and
why did I
Eclipse
just
or
show? Okay, I'm pretty sure I just shared some personal stuff, but it's fine.
Close to even doing it a third, and it's just something so surprising that
They
it
just had
managed to
7
take them
viewers
off
at one
multiple
point.
times. It's just such good gameplay from SK and Joker in
We'll see SK later on again. If that was a 3-0, I don't think the next one is going to be one.
Who's
It was one of
Bison?
the toughest
That's
ones
not
to predict,
Bison.
at least for me here. We have Power Supermassive versus
Oh.
Team Heretics. And
that
Team
guy.
Heretics isn't playing with their full roster. We're going to touch on that a bit later though.
I'm not
First,
him.
you get to see some beautiful highlights and we're going to head into a very quick break.
Alright, chat. So now I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna be back when the thing comes back. Oh. Oh. Okay, how y'all doing? Who's that brawler?
I don't know.
Meeple?
I can't think of any brawlers that epic that have 6,000 HP. I literally can't think of one. Meeple. I don't know. Lumi? Really?
Okay, let's see what they ask.
Oh my god. I can't think of one. No, I don't know. Gray, oh, Gray. Okay, there's too many brawlers, I have no idea. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, me. I can't think of epic brawlers, I don't know why.
It's not fine.
Take it already snatched away, Kenny.
Oh.
SK Gaming took it. Did you kind of see that coming?
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, expectation was SK to 3-0 there. I know last month it wasn't the best result for them,
Vlog in
obviously,
chat.
early
Let's see
quarterfinal
where I
exit.
can get
But
this
last month was
video to
chaotic. You never know in EMEA. They
Alright.
took care of business when it mattered most, and now they've got to take it to Dallas.
That is so true. You just never know what's going on in EMEA. That's the best statement I've ever heard, I think, about this this region. We're heading into Power Supermassive now versus Team Heretics. And Ark, one of those two teams, is showing up with a new player.
Oh, indeed. Gas hopping in there for Team Heretics again as a result of that little hiccup during the fair play process. But nonetheless, a very, very talented player, and I've really got high hopes for him. But let's touch on Papara Supermassive here. I think if you were to ask Tomsy, he probably wouldn't know how today's going to go because he didn't really seem that confident of knowing anything in that little segment. But I will tell it for him. He's been doing pretty well recently. They've been getting some very good results, and a 3-0 scoreline in the qualifiers of April against the Eclipse Esports, last month's monthly final champions, says to me a bit of a statement. To stay in the upper bracket and qualify that way, I think speaks volumes.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
It's the second time in the monthly final. They already made it into February, not into March though. And we got a super short statement from Tom.
Heretics are definitely, I think, an underrated team, and we'll definitely see how they perform in the monthly final.
I didn't lie when I said it was short. Now, Kenny, so far it looks like Heretics has the upper hand here, but for both of them it's been a bit of a rocky season. Both of them didn't even make it into the March monthly finals. They're back in April.
I think both these teams with a lot to prove, and last time that we've kind of seen them on broadcast was this Champions Invitational that happened in January, which was really competitive. I mean, a great start to the year, but now that we're rocking and rolling with monthly finals, this is 3 months behind us at this point. Team Heretics with the new player, and Sup have definitely underperformed in my mind as well. This is a team that I had high expectations for coming into this year, so I think the fact that they haven't necessarily made that run, that they missed the last monthly finals, I think both these teams should certainly have a chip on their shoulder.
And as mentioned, both teams are coming into today's monthly final after not making it into March. Both teams, the other side is Team Heretics. We touched upon it already. We have a new player here, Guess, that almost made it himself with Enraged and Ellen into the monthly finals. Now, he still gets a chance to play today. I'm sure he's very happy about it. Team Heretics, I don't know how happy they are about Lana, unfortunately, not being able to play today.
Yeah, suddenly it was a very close scoreline for Gas to actually almost be here himself, losing to LLC to a 3-2 scoreline. Very, very close. But again, like I say, I think it's a great substitution to bring in. Certainly for Heretics, looking back at that previous scoreline at the Invitational, they were playing with their full roster. We've got to bear that in mind here. For Team Heretics, certainly last month not qualifying was a big disappointment. Probably one of the biggest upsets we've seen in this region so far. And I think they've really got to make today count. They've got to get to the semi-finals and put themselves back on the mark. They lost back in February to Humble to a 1-3 scoreline. It's going to be at least the semi-finals here for me today.
Multiple elements make a great team. You need those aggressive players, but you also need the brains, Kenny. And you could say that Rage is that for Team Heretics.
I mean, 3 out of 4 of his years playing in the BSC made it to a World Finals. And obviously, when making those World Finals, it hasn't done much more than maybe make outside a group stage, an opening round, whatever that looks like. But nonetheless, established player, primary drafter for this roster. I think there's a lot to love about this team, and coming to the year, I think a lot of people had big excitement signed by a big org. This was kind of a roster of 3 members that we never saw coming playing together. Obviously, Lana, the regular in this roster, but Lana, Drage, and iChaos definitely wasn't on my bingo card of 3 players to play together. They were looking in great Brawl shape coming into this month for me, but obviously with the last-second roster swap, historically, that hasn't worked out great for the win rate. It was really hard for me to pull the trigger, but I thought this was going to be a sneaky team coming to this month, similar to yesterday and past times where we had last-second substitutions. Just hard to count on that when there's so much talent in this region.
So they didn't have the best of months so far. It's safe to say, I think Team Heretics only made it to the semi-finals in February, and the quarterfinals was the end for Papara Supermassive. Both teams, however, have shown some great potential this month. I really feel like it could be the day where they turn everything upside down and maybe even make it to the top of this leaderboard. They're not playing for the Brawl Cup, so this match is out of that race, but it's still a very high-stakes match, I feel like.
Possibly so. I think for these 2 teams specifically, they've got to really bring in the results here today. For Heretics, they had one of the best scrim win rates of any team this monthly final. But of course, that was prior to substitution. So a lot of pressure really on Gats's shoulders, and I really, really hope that he can display some great promise. Because I know him. He's a fantastic player, very dedicated, and again, is competing currently within the BSC and coming within a glimmer of being here himself himself for a monthly final. So I think that for all the substitutions that Team Heretics could have got, I think he's really the best that they could ask for. And it's a question of whether they've had the time really to really harness that kind of synergy and how they're going to go about their drafting. Obviously, they got trade, right? But it's always the case with a new player coming in as to where they will fit within a roster.
We're heading into draft number 1 here, Polar Supermassive versus Team Heretics, and we are on safe zone. If you think Heist, there's one brawler that comes to your mind that is not really played anywhere else, but he's pretty good on this map specifically. Chuck is not banned out, he's slipping through and immediately picked up here by Polar Supermassive. I do feel like he's still in a good spot, but it's not a first pick worthy brawler in my opinion at least, because you can still play some comps that can counter him. You see a lot of Charlie, you see Cornelius, or you can just out-damage him
Nobody
with,
banned
for
Chuck.
example, a cold
Did they at least ban
Colette.
Melody?
Bell is a brawler
Because I
that
don't
we've
see
also
anyone
seen
picking
very often
Melody.
yesterday, Kenny. I do feel like so far
Okay,
I like
they
the
ban
Team
Melody,
Heretics
that's good.
draft a bit better. It's of course
Who's
only
that
3
gonna be
brawlers so far, so not easy to tell.
Bell was the most played brawler
Guys, I
yesterday,
can't tell.
tied
My eyes
alongside
are
Carl,
moving.
didn't drop a single set, which is honestly pretty wild. Bell always somebody that's been in this high play rate category, and not somebody traditionally
who's
that
that
is
brawler
really known
between-
for something like East Asia,
Oh,
but in
that's
EMEA
Angelo.
is such a common reoccurring brawler, so
Okay.
curious to see if that trend continues today.
Daryl.
I think we'll
Why would
zigzag a
you
little
ban
bit from some of the
Daryl?
brawlers that we saw yesterday. We've had some interesting ones already here in EMEA, touching on Buster like
Bell.
you guys did earlier, somebody that
You're
shows up a
picking
ton. This isn't a
Bell
map that I necessarily see that. I
in
think so far this is pretty normal to Chuck early.
Heist.
Something that's kind of old-timey with Chuck. I do
No.
agree with you, Sonny, that it hasn't
No,
necessarily been
Bell
as good,
is
but
not a
Arc, I
replacement
think
for
pretty
Chuck.
standard stuff here so far. I mean, EMEA hasn't had anything too crazy yet today.
Yeah, I mean, I like
Well,
what
I
Mr.
don't know.
Chandler Sonny was saying, because, you know, we saw that a lot in East Asia yesterday,
so
more than I was expecting to see for
I'll
sure,
go
and
for
it's
a 10
would definitely
from
shut down the Chuck, but my concern here is that the
Wait,
Bell's
wait,
going to
wait,
struggle
wait.
against both
Yeah,
the
I
Chuck
agree with
and the Daryl, which I assume she's going to be more the defensive kind of role with the nest eggs there as well, to have that slow effect, and the Mark, of course, to be able to whistle brawlers down quickly, but, I mean, this is a really, really gnarly looking push here, with the Byron behind the Daryl to force his way forward, with the Chuck keeping you really against the wall the whole time. Let now coming in for Team Heretics, I don't mind it, but there's a lot of HP to have to whittle down, and you know, the Colette's going to have not the toughest time doing that very thing, but they're going to have their work cut out for them, certainly, and that's the problem. You kind of want to have to go on the offense from time to time as well, certainly the hypercharge, you know, so to be on a Colette pick and be on the defensive as much as they're going to be, you know, how can they really get forwards on the map? Those takedowns have got to be swift, because you've got to kind of beat the spawn cycle in that regard to get into that position to bring in the offensive damage for your team. So a tough ask. I think for Power Supermassive here, we've got a solid draft, and it's going to come down to how well Heretics can defend against it.
2 underperforming teams so far this year in EMEA. Now each of them are trying to advance just a little bit more up this leaderboard. A very important month despite Brawl Cup not being on the line. Off to the races, and Team Heretics already in the middle. Gas left hand in. Tomsy trying to charge up this train station and get this freight train rolling. There's the third mark. Now diving
Bell
in. Bell forced to wage rage defending, and Tomsy
Colette
already moving up the middle of the map. Gets the takedown, and more importantly, establishes complete control of all of these posts.
That setup is exactly what you want to see if you're playing Chuck the whole way to the save, and again the little rebound at the very end as well to maximize the damage. They get gas on the way. Oh, that's not looking good. Bell from Drake, I want to say, nice double charge from Drake. The mark was on point, getting some continuous shots into Tomsy as well. Now a little bit on the save too, but Tomsy is the ticking time bomb. That's the problem. And Heretics have got to land as much damage as early as they can.
I don't like how Colette's not dealing with Daryl at all.
That's a tough breakthrough. Even getting to the other end without damage is good value. Gas goes down. Chuck back and forth he goes. Already down to 5%. One little runaway and should be good enough. Chaos just popping this hypercharge out of desperation. No other choice. One little tag will do the trick. But Power Supermassive taking game number 1. I think this is an interesting composition in a battle. Anytime you see Chuck at a professional level especially, you either have to have an insane defensive comp to stop Chuck, or you outrace him. They've got the Colt in their back pocket. They have options to get up close. They just have to beat Chuck to the punch, and unfortunately for them, they weren't quick to the draw.
Yeah, I mean, look at the clock. You've got about 1 minute 15
and
seconds. If Tomsy gets
playing well.
early,
You know,
that's the amount of time that this game is going to last.
He's Colette quit, actually better.
bit of nervousness from
Okay,
Gas. I feel a couple of his
okay.
shots in that last
Yeah,
game as
just-
well. Kind of want to see him settle himself down.
Colette
a little
can
bit
farm
and,
off Chuck,
bring
I
something
don't
home for his
understand.
team, considering
What's
how
farm off
important
Chuck?
that Colette pick really is to deter
Like, bro, you
against
have
the down.
two
Let's see how
juicy
Tomsy
tanks
fares
to
this
farm
time
off.
around, and I want to see Heretics evade a little bit away from the train tracks too, because they were getting caught off guard too much for my liking in that last game. Oh, that's a bit of a disgusting
Okay,
shot on the way
easy,
through,
Quack.
and Filippo now able to continue to aggress.
How do you
this.
miss that?
More time they buy, the quicker Tomsy can substitute in. It's been a
He shouldn't have
two-handed
wasted
kind of
super.
drag in here. We've
He
got
needs to
Tomsy
save it for his
rolling
hyper.
in. We've got Filippo
Colette didn't get
Filippo
her
rolling in,
super
Tomsy with the train
because
station.
she's not
It's
being
just
aggressive.
one
Bro,
after the other. A second they defend
where's
shot.
your
Now you
super?
got to worry about
I mean, where's your
Daryl. It's just
hyper?
been this continuous
Yes.
turmoil for this Parpara supermassive team. Tim Harris just
Bell
don't seem
sitting
out
on
the
the
way
stairs
independent.
doesn't do a shit, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Especially
he
on
also
this map.
Tomsy to
His chuck is
continuously
gonna
go
keep
back
on
in
going
again.
in.
I'm liking the Byron pick, not really my favourite brawler in Twice, not by a long shot, but it
Yes,
really
oh,
works here.
oh.
Now can Heretics
Colette can
still
go
themselves
hyper,
into the
oh.
damage? It's going to be a bit of a base race here. 21% left for Heretics on the Papara.
Wow,
Massive save,
wow.
but then we will chuck is
Wow,
going there.
marking the
Tomsy
saves
goes
does
back
nothing.
and
Nice, 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 nice.
house.
The bounce,
5%,
the bounce, the
4%
bounce.
now. I don't think, they shut
No,
him down
the
all the way
bounce.
through.
Oh.
Heretics have still got a chance.
Oh.
Filippo's
Wait.
the last remaining
Oh.
chance. Gas goes in the nick of time, and Heretics steal it from their clutches. How close was that?
You gotta race him, and if not, you're gonna play insane defense. And Drage hit the one shot he needed to. It was a one-shot kill as Chuck ran that train post up the middle of the map. If he had missed that shot, it is a set going the way of Sup. And now instead, we've got a game 3 here. Team Heretics looking at much better there in the second half.
Wow, that was impressive, but a lot of pressure, isn't it, really, against this comp, which I much prefer what Papara Supermassive have got going on here for sure. Tomsy, though, struggling that last game to get through with the train tracks, but now left open here, able to survive and gets the final pole down as well. So that's a good start up. Philippe on the right-hand side as well has the roll. So not a good place to start for Heretics. Not at all, and a bit of a fumble there as well going down. All thumbs, it seems, so far for Heretics. Let's see how they fare as the match continues on.
See.
Gotta focus Tomsy on this left-hand side. Great
Alright,
job
so
of
now
Drage
they're
and
doing
Iron Chaos
okay.
to look towards that left-hand end. Salty, though,
Why is
good at
Colette
holding
always
his own
against
mid as
Bayern?
Filippo
Bro,
just sits back.
Colette,
He can pass
fight
him towards that
Daryl.
super, and now he's got it activated.
Okay,
Here
Colette
comes the
can farm
train,
super.
now comes the barrel. Now both of them
Honestly,
connecting
because
to
they
this
went
ice
double hyper.
shredding
No, they went
through it as
triple hyper
well,
on
but
the
it's
save. That's
very
how they won.
close. Team Heretics certainly in this.
And Cole just needs to
Great
play
juice
well.
from Chaos there as well, has hypercharge too, and this is just going to be the time to push, because again, with the amount of times that Tomsy can keep cycling in with the Byron heals,
No,
time it's against
Rick,
Team
Heretics needs to
massively
know
here.
that they are
It's going to
under
be time
pressure.
now, and they've got to land these shots in the bay. Tomsy
Hyper,
coming back
nice.
through. Here's the hypercharge of Chaos,
Nice,
they missed the
nice,
smash.
Colette.
Great juking there as
Colette,
well.
where's your
But now,
hyper?
look at this, 7%
Nice.
on this.
Boom, boom.
Tomsy goes in and should clear it up.
No,
And for
no.
Papara Supermassive then, to take this first set, it was a close affair, but to be honest, Papara Supermassive really had that one in the bag. It was Heretics that looked far more nervous, in my opinion.
I feel like there were several missed opportunities for Colette there, to be honest with you. Definitely some fumbles on that super, whether it was on defense, whether it was on offense. Came down to 16% at the end, but nonetheless, they just couldn't match the output. I do feel like the mechanics, they, like you said earlier, hadn't quite settled in. I think they got to calm themselves down and really find themselves here.
To me, it really just looked like the nervousness still had a bit of a grip onto Gas, especially in that first round. He couldn't do as much with Colette that we were looking for. As I said, coming into the raft, I think to counter out the Chuck, you either need something to directly address him, like a Cordelius, like a Charlie, or you just need to out-damage him, and the Gas and Chaos with those two brawlers just had to do that. I do think the nervousness is warranted. They're sitting at the 6th spot in the leaderboard right now. This match means so much to Team Heretics, finally making it into a monthly final again after not making it into March. And Team Heretics in the upper bracket of this month's monthly qualifier, they were so close to taking down Humble and got reverse swept in the end. They were 2 up already. So yeah, I feel like Gas is nervous. The whole team might be a bit, and it makes a lot of sense to me, York.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, coming to the match, how much time have they really had to prepare for this? It's a last-minute substitution, and despite how good you are as a player, it's fitting into an already established roster. That's not easy for any squad in any region. I don't care what anyone says, and I think that at the moment, Team Heretics are doing the best that they can under those circumstances. If Lenal was in that squad there's no doubt in my mind that they would have been able to defend against that. I think that they were able to really come together. I think, Chaos was great. I mean, he would have got onto the safe a lot better as well with an aggressive player like Lenan, and that kind of already established chemistry, which is going to be understandably lacking a little bit here today as well. So I think that it was just a very smart draft as well from Power Supermassive. You know, if you're not going to ban the Chuck, you've really got to have that defensive maneuvering for it, and that may have been when things got a little bit untangled, because the Colette was the brawler ready to do that, and Gas did seem like he was missing a lot of shots and did seem to have a few nerves, but that's what you're going to have to have, you know, when you're not really kind of in a multi-finals position on a monthly basis, so coming in under such enormous pressure as well. I mean, you've got to hand man for even being able to say yes to such an opportunity, because he knows what it would be more so for Team Heretics to be able to advance in these points.
I do feel like we don't want to take away from Papar Supermassive's success either, though. They played phenomenally. They had a pretty good draft. The Chuck was an idea that we have seen often before, and Heretics should have known how to counter it, but it just didn't work out for them in this round. Now heading into Shooting Star, a very open map, a map that has been in the competitive map pool ever since we can think Brawl Stars started. We can think back, and Grey is going to be the first pick here. Usually what we see here very often are those long-ranged options like the Piper, the Nanny, the Angelo. Some of them are banned out already. Carl is out of the way as well, so no Blue Star right from the start. We've seen that very often yesterday in East Asia. And Grey, I do like the option. With the blocking cane, you have a lot of mid-control. You can always sweep in and get those stars very quickly as soon as you have your super or even a hyper charge ready, Kenny.
I think Nani is somebody that's a good grab here as well, especially on Shooting Star. It's a long-time great brawler, and with so many sharpshooters eligible, especially when you only see Angelo in that equation.
Yeah, they always
in the
ban
main
the
stage.
thing.
Piper,
Yeah, you
Bell, a
must
lot of these
ban.
brawlers are still available, so having Nani in your back
Ban
pocket I think is
Leon.
good. It's not the easiest brawler in the world to play, it's not the best in the meta, but it is very good and very deliberate at taking care of those sharpshooters.
Yes, if you are not the
Yeah, I'm liking so
I
far
suggest they
what I'm
go
seeing from
also,
Heretics, to be completely honest.
they win
Especially
this.
with
They
the
need
Gus,
also.
it's a great brawler to have. Melody is open here as well, so the pairing is on the
stop.
table here.
Yes,
Nanny, always great to deter against the Piper, so Power Supermassive probably not going to be thinking into that. They might go through it here. I mean, they've got the Grey already, so they're going to put then Team Heretics in a position where they've got to bring a throw of their own, but the Grey's going to have a good time into it. So they've gone for RT, and again, we saw a little bit of a ban for RT earlier, which is a rarity. But again, always a very, very good brawler to have in big open maps like Shooting Star that amplified shot. Definitely makes you rethink your aggressiveness, and the legs go down and like an aggressive push like a Melody, like I'm saying, then that's a great deterrent of that. So they're starting to read through what Team Heretics are saying in this draft already. Mandy, I like it. I really do. The hypercharge, of course. Tough thing to dodge around. And there's Gas got the shades on. He's feeling the vibe. But certainly the RT, yeah, it's going to deter against the Melody now, which may have been the plan of Team Heretics. So I'm liking what they're reading through the lines with.
In the old
RT's been on the rise, especially in scrims. When observing stuff this week, you know, RT, Grey, probably the two most common brawlers that I noted on this map for them, so no surprise that they get both of them here. Mandy in a solid spot, I think, in the meta. I'm curious to see what Team Heretics do here as well. I think the Grey would maybe deter them from throw, but that's exactly what they're going to commit to. So we have to worry about a walking cane. They could get real cheeky and go grand piano, but I think it'd be much more normal to go with that walking cane. You see it occasionally, depending on maps like out in the open, but for Grey in general, I think that's definitely the play. I think Tick is just super frustrating to deal with. It's not an early pick. I think you have to go last. You have to be confident in the selection or the matchups that you get. I think they get a little bit of chip damage here. They've got their long range with Gus and not. It's not going to be in the cards.
So regressing again,
so
and there's the legs go down. Filippo then doing work for his team, but a solid amount of duping there from Dre.
I don't know who died.
That moment as well, because certainly if
I
it's Gray,
I think
Gray would have gone in onto the Nanny, and that would have put Chaos in a perilous position there as well. So that's what it's there for. buy some time, get these peeps rolling and let him bring home the stars for his squad. Going now, Round does break the left-hand side and seemed a little bit intentional there as well. But again, as time's ticking, it's Heretics that are still behind. They've got the blue star, however, so any team, any player rather, for the taking will give them the lead.
And Filippo's still just in that jacking form, just stand still, no distance, just hoping somebody gets real close to him. Until then, just waiting to get that super and teleport back. Either that or he's going to have to go to the graveyard to go back to normal. Drage with a hypercharge in hand, and now going to activate it. Tick, forward, that's a kill and a huge swing. Now the red roster's got a lead.
He made me say.
When you're running Hack's gadget on the RT, you haven't got the opportunity to then come back out of that scenario. Now, good aggression, now a hypercharge. Pete most importantly coming in as Tomsy falls as well.
Wait,
now,
if I do not miss that.
Gonna happen. Nice game in the bag there, despite Gas getting a little bit overzealous from that left-hand side lane on multiple times. They get the job done.
Drage seems pretty locked in. I feel like he's been playing really well. On the Bell earlier, his defense was awesome. I thought the shots were connecting. Feeling pretty good about him. And I think there, too, a great veteran move, just having the timing right with about 20 seconds to go. Activating that hypercharge, knowing Filippo is vulnerable right in front of his face, daring him to get close to him. Guaranteed tick, hypercharge connects. They grab the kill, and then they're just able to back away. That's what made the difference there in game number 1.
Nice gadget there from Tomsy.
Why is
Walking came from Salty onto Gas as well. There's Drage out there in a perilous spot, and they could both go down here if they're not careful, trying to body block each other back. Filippo now closing the range. There's the Hack's gadget to secure the kill as well, giving the lead then. Paris with massive tick head, not a problem there on that right-hand side.
On Tomsy, left hand in, Salty, low HP. Button goes down and Tomsy receiving heavy fire. It's a pull on the Drage. He's the blue star carrier, low HP.
No!
Swings through and grabs a double, sub-tie things up.
Shit.
Surgical, absolutely surgical there from Papyrus. Massive. It was a great walking cane there from Salty, and the shots from Filippo were absolutely on point. The TP in as well, just to ensure the stars. What a turnaround. I mean, absolutely beautiful stuff from Papyrus Supermassive under pressure. The communication there, the amount of time to actually get that job done was crucial. I mean, milliseconds we're talking there. The turnaround was so swift. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Wait, why did you just put that?
These early engagements have been something to watch. This time it's going to go into Salty's hands. Drage not over-aggressing. I think that's one issue that's been kind of both games for Team Heretics. We had Gas get really aggressive on that bottom left-hand side, take a 2v1 he had no business being a part of. They did end up winning that game, but last time, sometimes one kill makes the difference, and I think that's what we saw.
This is quite the spot now for Heretics. Chance for a set or be 2 sets down. Salty out of position here as well. Drage knows it, has super to hand as well. Filippo low, 745 HP above his head. And now, a peep coming in. Tomsy's got to tank this. He does so. Keeps Filippo in the question, kills him back up. And now Salty on the right-hand side, nowhere to go. And Drage knows it, gets it done. 2 stars in the blue for Heretics.
Lucky that Hax didn't get that kill. Such low HP, so Gus can back away, and now Team Heretics on the defensive side, they're the ones with the 1-star lead, and oftentimes that's what you'll see. It's aggressive until you don't have to be, and a good blend of passive-aggressive is the best way to play at a pro level.
Well, Power Supermassive now just slowing down the pace, getting that mid control and just reasserting themselves in for what is going to be a final push attempt. And as we saw in the last game, they know how to do that perfectly well. So they're not under any pressure despite there being only 25 seconds here. Tom's, he's very low here. It's forced back. That's going to delay the onset of Salty, I believe, and Salty's low himself here. This is good from Heretics, but they've got to hold on better than the last time round.
No super for Salty. That was one reason that the lead swung. Nothing for Tomsy either. Filippo now activating his super from a distance and just diving forward. Sure, he can float over water, but he has to get closer. Hypercharge, tick head, connects, not enough though. Destroys it, they don't step on it, but Gas puts his foot on the metal, and it's a 4-1 lead. Team Heretics tying things up in our match.
How hard was it to stay there? Gas puts his foot on the metal instead of Gas puts his foot on the gas. Kenny, that's what I want to know. That's some serious control there from a dedicated, talented caster right there, man.
Well done by both of you. And the players on the field as well. Both sets so far have been a very close affair. It was 2-1 in both of them. And so far, I feel like we don't have a clear picture of who will take it in at the end. It's 1-1. It's even out now. Oh, it's 2-0, never mind. The last match was very close. Yeah, it could be a 1-1 in my opinion, honestly. Again, in both sets, at least one game was taken by Team Heretics. It looked like they had it in the bag here as well, but it just... something in the end is always missing, Kenny.
I do feel like it's been pretty evenly matched, though. I mean, both sets, Team Heretics, definitely in the mix. And I could be wrong. I do think it was a 1-1, right? Didn't think I was a crazy person.
I corrected myself.
You're good. No, you're good. Yeah.
I didn't want to throw anyone under the bus.
It was that close, though. It was that close. Honestly, a really impressive set overall. I think both teams kind of had some mistakes going in there. I don't know if you agree, Art, but looked a little shaky. Definitely not a perfect one. A little bit of sloppy back and forth. But at the end of the day, Team Heretics just pulled through.
Yeah, I mean, that was a grueling set for Heretics, no doubt about it, as Power Supermassive are relentless in their assault. They really are, and again, I'm really enjoying their drafts. I'm really enjoying what they're bringing in terms of mechanics. And again, as time ticks on, I think it goes against them, actually, as Heretics are able to get a bit more confidence, get a bit more chemistry, you know, have everyone settle down and just kind of get the shots to land and the accuracy to follow. It's all about confidence, and that only grows over time, in my opinion. So I feel like the Power Supermassive have to try to speed things up somewhat, because going to a fifth final set might not be the play, and that's where I think this one deserves to go, honestly. Both sides are really giving it their all.
And both sides have nothing to lose, but a lot to prove. They're not playing for the Brawl Cup here, but they can still make it to LCQ, to World Finals in the end. I think that's still a goal to fight for, and they're definitely showing up with the biggest guns they have here. They definitely show up with a lot of motivation to win today. So far, it's a 1-1. It's a very close match, just as we expected, honestly. As mentioned before, I had a tough time to predict here, Kenny.
I think so too, and genuinely, Team Heretics looked like a team that I thought could be contending coming into this month, obviously before the roster change. Gas has a lot of pressure on him, a huge opportunity to show why he deserves to be a part of some top-tier teams in this region. And I think they're taking this really seriously. I think especially with the substitution right now, Team Heretics are playing with a little bit of house money. If they could steal a win here, make a semifinals, heck, go even further, I think a big deal for them. Subs team coming in this year, though, I thought would be in contention for one of those LCQ spots, maybe at their ceiling, one of those World Final spots. And so far, obviously missing last month, not a great debut in the opening month. They're a good team, but we haven't necessarily seen that jump in results. And I know in past years they've had that. So looking to see here if in set number 3 they can change things up.
Heading into this draft now, third draft overall. Oli is banned out once again. Those two teams really do not want to see this brawler on the map anytime soon. We are in Gem 40. It's all about protecting that mid. You can either go all 3 members of your team into mid and try to fight in there. Janet has been picked up here so often, I can't even count it. Probably the best mid that you can have here, can always get out of harm's way when she has a super ready. It offers also a lot of visibility thanks to her gadget. I do feel like that's a great pickup here from Power Supermassive. And now from the side of Team Heretics, usually we see a lot of tanks come out of that team, but Lena is not on the roster today, so could that change their approach today, or?
It's definitely going to make a difference for sure in terms of the draft, because you kind of want to lean into what everyone's comfortable doing. Certainly if you've got someone in your squad like Lena, you want to lean heavily into tanks. it's not going to deter them from the Buster first pick. And again, not too surprised to see it. Certainly would have been if you told me that last month. But that's the difference the Hypercharge can make. And Buster was always slept on, always, in my opinion, slept on. Certainly in game modes like Brawl Ball, I mean, that's definitely his best mode here, though I think it's certainly one that's very, very viable. It's down to now Supermassive as to whether they want to kind of like do any wall break on the Bush side to they really kind of take away Tomsy and Salty allowing a little bit of an opening door here for Heretics.
Tough couple engagements here. I mean, off the rip, Sup were looking so good, but Filippo just hasn't been able to get the job done. And when it becomes a 3v2, they can focus each of those tanks a little bit more. I feel like this one adjustment Team Heretics have made really well. Not only are they breaking walls to make it easier for B, a little bit easier for Stu, now they're taking down one tank at a time. They don't have to worry about the 21,000+ health points all at once. They're just taking care of business one brawler at a time.
Much better for Heretics. There's a bit of a flank going on here, and this is where things went wrong last time round, and it's going to be Filippo there on that Jackie. IKL's there, still holding on to the hypercharge, and I think that's a good reason why, is the Rattled Hive is able to get the job done between himself and Drage. And now the countdown, one of the Team Heretics have got to hold on to this time round if they want to stay with it in this set. Tomsy pushing the left-hand side, now the hypercharge coming in as well. There's a chance here for Drage to get around the situation. Gas comes in, a pinch point, Gashes, but the gems are dropped to Tomsy on the right-hand side, and that's exactly what happened in the last time round. It's Drage all alone. It's happening all over again. Deja vu in our very eyes, and this could be the set dwindling away from Heretics. It's all gone disastrously wrong. Drage is going to have to do his best here all alone, and it's again going to be Papara Supermassive that come out on top.
Team Heretics were better for 80% of that. Unfortunately, Sup were the better team in the countdown, both games. It's just a huge comp and a huge, and I mean, it definitely hurts to watch as well, right? Because Team Heretics, I think, adjusted really well. Because in scrims when leading up to this week, Jackie was something that came out a good bit for Sup. And I think it's a great brawler into the Buster specifically, but I don't think that was the issue there. I just think it was the insane amount of health points, and even with the walls tearing down, B's a great brawler. I think one of the better brawlers in the game right now, to tell you the truth. Great on a lot of different maps, great into tanks. Can only focus one brawler at a time, though, and I just feel like they got overwhelmed on several instances when that countdown came, when they had to move towards the back of their spawn on defense. They just couldn't get a grip on things.
You were spot on there with the draft, Kenny. Jackie definitely made a difference here, but as you said, B just too good here on the side of Team Heretics. It really looked like they had it twice. It was a steal. It was, almost as easy as stealing a kid's lollipop. It looks like, at least for Para Supermassive here. Taking the gems away twice. Tomsy did a phenomenal job. And for everybody that got their votes in to earn those Profiles XP, I hope your votes aren't looking too dire. You can still pass through those trivia questions and earn some points through that.
For me as well, like going into that game, seeing that Jackie drafted, would never really been able to anticipate that would have been the draw responsible for that first reset, and that was the moment right there in the final game where Tomsy was able to get the reset and steal the gems back away. But it was a valiant attempt from Heretics to buy some time in that game, but again, just not quite enough. You really just need to hold on to them, take it to that third and final game, and then you've already got in the back of your mind some confidence going into the third match. Now they're going into this next set in much the opposite way. They're going to be down in the dumps and kind of, they're not going to be wondering where it went wrong. They know exactly where it went wrong, and that's where it can really unravel quickly. When you're kind of left wondering, you can just kind of forget about it and move past it. But when you're able to be there lingering, you don't want that as a squad.
Para Supermassive has the opportunity to close it all out now. That could be their match point set here, the last one we see from those two teams today. I fear for Team Heretics here. They looked pretty strong in both. They at least got a game in the first two sets, both sides, and then in Gemfort, they just didn't really play for the objective, it seems. They got so many kills, but sometimes it's not about making kills. On Golden Gulch, however, they should be luckier with that, Kenny.
This is a map that's up have been very good leading into the week, just post-quals when our meta has kind of been established a little bit more. This was one of the maps in Gym 4 were one of the maps that I thought that they looked very good on. Two sets that I definitely think favored them, but Team Heretics, it looked good. I mean, honestly, the kill-death ratio, very strong in that last one, I imagine. Unfortunately, just the last 30 seconds of both games didn't go their way. Gonna have a huge bounce back here into Ark's points. When you have a timestamp of where things went wrong, that's hard to cope with. And now Team Heretics have to go into this with a lot of pressure on them and remember that they have to get a win. If it's another early exit for them, it's not going to be great for the leaderboard.
Very true. They both still want to play for the LCQ slots for the World Finals. I think it's draft now. First pick on the side of Team Heretics. What's it going to be? Do they have that secret weapon here, Ark? What would you pick up here? First pick.
First pick for me. makes some sense, certainly. I mean, I'm looking at potential combination with that meatball as well. So I think that's where Power Supermassive need to consider heavily. Do they want to take that off the table away from this Angelo combination that we've seen already today as being a really nice one that SK Gaming have already demonstrated that can bring in the goods. Certainly, it's going to be a very tough set for Heretics. They've got to come back in this series now. Ollie, tough brawler to play into as well, can put the pressure on and just has so much HP and potential speed as well off the back of various star power choices. It can be one that can put you on the back lines. That's where Angelo does not want to be. RT as well, always very, very safe, especially in these ending moments in Knockout. You want to have a kind of RT on your side. Those legs are devastating.
Angelo is the first pick. Honestly, you saying you're not a huge fan of it, but honestly, I'm kind of surprised it didn't enter the ban stage. Kit is somebody that's been really popular on this map in particular, especially for sub going into the week. So I think this is a little homework being done by Team Heretics. You don't always see Kit in the ban stage. I think it's a little bit trickier when you get Gray and Daryl, some of these more unique brawlers, because it leaves things open. Ollie's been a huge factor on this map, and then the response, they're going to go Lou. So that's a direct answer into that brawler. I still really like where Ollie's at. RT, like I've mentioned, has been on the up in terms of play rates for this region. A lot of regions going into it. I think it makes a little more sense on Gold Arm Gulch, maybe compared to something like Bounty, where you have one life towards the end games. You can also stamp the static and just kind of get those kills up close or against those walls. So don't really mind this for either side. I like where Angelo's at in the game. Lou is a little trickier. I think that has to be played into Ollie, and you really have to get your values worth.
Hank coming in for Heretics. Like I say, I think that we're going to see a fair amount of Hank today. It's not an insta-ban brawler anymore. The hyper charge has been addressed slightly. That 50% less honing missile. So I don't mind necessarily they put the pairing of the Lou there as well, as that would have been a great brawler for Power Supermassive to consider going into it. So more as a way to bring it off the table really than something to kind of maybe have against what we're seeing so far with the Ollie RT. The Lou doesn't really have a place. It's going to be a deterrent of tanks for sure. Lily coming in, Power Supermassive. Quite like the pick. We have yet to kind of really see Lily escape the game mode of Heist recently. That's where she's really found her footing. So it'll be interesting to see how Power Supermassive play this. Sure, there's some escape maneuvering with Angelo and the gadget, but I mean, Lou as well has some defensive maneuvering around Lily. So that's my kind of reservation, really, is Heretics have got some answers to it. Lily, though, her biggest traits, really, for me, is being able to be very unpredictable. You never really know where she's going to be and when she's going to strike, and that's the point. It kind of puts that paranoia into your squad and making communication ever more important for Heretics to really nail in this set, because it could be their last hit today.
Mental warfare definitely on this map. Both sides going to be starting on the left. Normally it's blue left, red right, but this time they're all going that way, and Sup just transferred themselves over to this right-hand end. Chaos can float over water. One reason why Angelo is so popular on this map. And there's that super pesky gadget. That's one reason that Lily has been so relevant more recently. Mostly in Heist, like you mentioned, but here I think they're just going to be counting on the fact for the survivability, the surprise factor, all of it contributes.
Oh, that's what TH stands for. Oh.
I wouldn't mind seeing Mr. P come out there into the Angelo just to kind of really keep Power Supermassive in a good commanding position against it. But so far, sitting back, waiting their time out. Not going to really have any brawlers here that can kind of earn passive utility over time. Just literally waiting for the time to strike for the Ollie to go in and try to get something of some value here. Tomsy puts the legs down. That's a big blunder there as well, and Chaos punched it big time here as well. Salty going in, as Filippo is in the realm. Not the best of times. Going to leave 3 members of Team Heretics to get it done. The final man to fall be Filippo. A very strong opening round for Team Heretics.
I'm with you. I think just a mistake there coming out of RT, and they just didn't have a super for Salty or anything like that really going into it. Just not enough utility. I'm kind of surprised they went for it there. I think the zone was so closed in that they might as well fight that. But usually you're going to see pro players try not to feed super, and unfortunately for them, all 3 members of the red side have theirs.
Good taps from Chaos, playing this Angelo so well. Honestly, his accuracy being rewarded for his time. And Tomsky again, it's literally the cusp of that range. Relentless is like Chaos here, and definitely a tough start for Tomsky so far. Confidence really exuding again from Team Heretics as Trajan and Chaos do need to lead this to a victory. Let's see. Gas keeping back Filippo, making the Lily he's so visible is kind of an interesting choice because it doesn't really leave much to the imagination, and that's kind of where I was saying Lily's strength really lies. I have a charge now for Chaos coming down. Thompson gets tapped now by Gas, and the follow-up is perfect. Salty there with the hypnosis coming in straight, and Drake will fall now as well, and Gas is looking beefy. Filippo goes in, gets the kill, but it's the bubble of Gas that seals it and keeps then Team Heretics in a commanding role in this game.
Hank just too much to handle in those final moments. It's hard to bring the guy down, especially when he has a super that heals himself, so he can preserve his life a little bit longer, and also does damage alongside that, especially if a hypercharge too. I mean, we know how big of a problem it was last month. Obviously, it's been handled a little bit in the balances. But Sup, I think, have to just find a pick early here, get their utility, and go into this last second. That's exactly what they're going to do. It's going to get real aggressive. They're looking for iChaos. They know they can bring him down, but he's using the jump away gadget. We've seen pros use the piercing one so much, and this time that's not what's going down. It's going to be a 2v2, a trade. I think bringing down Hank, honestly, the best thing they could have done going in this in-game, because now they have Tomzy with the super, and if Ollie has a gadget or anything, they can at least get a hypnosis off when the zone closes in.
Yeah, stinging flight there for the Angelo, and that's what I was saying coming into the draft is Angelo has that escape maneuver, being able to jump onto the lake even more so, and then you've really got some options to be able to evade Lily. That brawler is now down, so the Ollie and the RT is where Team Heritage got to focus their time, and they are two very, very tanky brawlers, both running shield gear, but as are Drage and iChaos also, so that's going to be taken into consideration here. Good positioning, but Tomzy puts the legs down as well, at low HP as well, with poison trickle as well from iChaos. He's going to put him down to a perilous position here. 620 HP, and Salty goes in, way too overzealous, and it's going to be yet another round for Team Heretics. This one could be looking to the distance here, Kenny, because one round separates Team Heretics from getting to a fifth and final set.
Another loss early for Tomzy. Just dropping the super and immediately crumbling. You just can't have it. 2 supers available now for Sup. That's the good news. They have some utilization here going into this next one. Supers in the back pocket. Salty just kind of hovering, riding his board and just trying to get whatever tags he can, because if he gets a super, it definitely changes things up for this roster.
Again, Tomzy tapped down to almost half HP. Really not having the best of times in this set. They find Gas with one hit. There's all time in the world for Heretics now as Lily goes in. Filippo going to be in the realm and should be coming out straight into Drake. There's the ice block. Good from him, but then Filippo goes down to Gas. Gas so low here. He's got to heal up. iChaos has got to be there for support as well. He's got the hypercharge. He's got the time. Oh, but then Gas falls now. So much to be done for Chaos, but the legs are down. They're susceptible. There's going to be some body blocking here going on for sure. Salty's got to force this back. And now the Gas leaves Chaos with nowhere to go. A gadget pop potentially here to escape. He's not going to be able to do anything now, not with the HP. And that's a very important round for Heretics to secure.
The execution coming out of Sup there was wild. Really well played, and honestly, after he popped that first super, I was surprised to see Filippo commit so heavily. He followed that roster to those bushes. All 3 members gets another super cycled, and despite having invincibility from Drage's gadget, he timed it perfectly. Really well played, and finally Sup showing some promise here in this set.
Another great tap from Chaos. Finds Filippo twice there as well. Beautiful stuff. Now Salty getting some taps, just into the realm there to evade that shot from Gas. That was quick thumbs there from Filippo. Buying their time yet again. Gas staying firm on his bottom side. Great positioning from him. There's Chaos. How does he do it? How does he just find these brawlers in the bush? It's just such great team, just great game knowledge and just great great awareness really to the situation and the surroundings here just to be able to land these shots the way he is. Filippo goes in again into the round, close to the gap, and this is the same story again. Ice block for Drage, hypnosis there from Salty, and there Drage falls. 2 versus 2 now yet again. It's that same old story, but Chaos knows to keep the pressure on. Hypercharge coming in, but the Gas misses the bubble there as well. Tom's going to survive on as well. Salty in the commanding position here, and that may have been a big mistake that costs Team Heretics the game.
These close calls, they just keep going Sup's way. Really good job there, and we're starting to see the ceiling of what this composition can do. Lily getting up in the face, instigating an attack. She hits the super, it disappears for a second, and then pops up with a bunch of damage. And then we saw Ollie follow through after Lily popped that gadget. So she disappears, she is safe, and now Ollie can dive in, start the hypnosis, and even if you pop that invincibility gadget, you're still in a dance party. You don't have a choice. You can't move. So a really good 1-2 punch there, and there we go again. Filippo now moving towards his right-hand side, creeping, doesn't get the prediction right, but Salty following through with the shots, and Gas has to run away.
Filippo is playing amazingly well today. He really is. You've got to remember the history between himself and Drake as well for esports in previous years. Now, that's definitely going to be hitting home emotionally for both of these two players who want to prove themselves here in this matchup. But he's really all over the place in this game in a really positive way. Great results there to close the gap. Hypnosis yet again from Drake. And again, Drake will fall. They're just being so surgical now from Papara Supermassive, getting some serious momentum. There again, Filippo going in. Oh my word, disgusting stuff. Gas is surely going to be going down here. Supermassive can just sit back, wait the time, and get some more utility as well. Salty seals it. And now look at this. Look how the tides have turned 1 round away from Papara Supermassive getting into the semi-finals.
They've got the combo again, too. They've got the Ollie Super Gadget, and then they've got Lily Super Gadget as well. Team Heretics getting a little closer this time. They play this right-hand side. Now they're moving into the middle of the map. Chaos does have a super available. Drage can drop an ice rink. These tanks hate the ice, but they're going to dive in anyways. The Hypnosis goes through. The Gadget is popped. It does not matter. He is still going to be dancing, and now it's going to be a funeral for them as well, possibly. 2v2 situation, and Team Heretics in the middle.
Salty has just been demolishing Drake time and time again. It's got to be playing into his mental. A 2 versus 2 now, and every opportunity for Papara Supermassive to get this done, especially with Filippo being as dangerous as he is. The only thing is that Gas is there with 11,200 HP in a dream. Chaos' accuracy has been absolutely on point as well, but as the Gas comes in and the proximity closes, Salty becomes ever more dangerous with this Ollie pick and the Hypnosis that we've been seeing time and time again coming in clutch, and here it comes into the realm for Filippo as well. Gas hypnotized as well. Filippo coming out as well. Oh, Gas goes down, so there's a bit of a waste there, but nonetheless, I can't stay standing. He jumps over it. Can he find Salty as well? He's tapping away. He gets it done. Team Heretics stay in the question.
Oh my goodness.
One round away to stay in this
There's no way.
series.
There's no way.
And great news for Team Heretics. No super for Salty or Filippo now. The misconnection from Filippo there may haunt them. Chaos putting the team on his back. Tournament life on the line, and Team Heretics might be here to stay.
The pressure of that moment. But it's not over yet, not by a long shot. Team Heretics dodged the bullet, but there's still plenty more loaded for Papara Supermassive now.
They need to push, and don't need to get hit. Look
Filippo
push bottom, and they look push
again,
middle.
And this time round, the ice
Hang
block
pull
has got to
stop.
be timed to perfection, really. It's the kind of like brawler in the draft. It's the weakest on the side of Team Heretics. Really, it was just there because they knew that they had to pair it with the Hank as one of the best counters to it for Papara Supermassive to not pick it up.
Yes.
Let's see how they fare because this round is crucial.
Look.
They have
Hank
to find a
push
way to bring
DD.
down Hank. He's got a hypercharge, he's got a super. Salty diving in. It's not a connection with the Gadget, but he does get some taps alongside it. Now the Gas closing in. Alongside it, Gas the Brawler marching forward. Hypercharge, pop,
Yes.
Tomsy, low
Yes.
HP. Salty trying to put the team on his back. One Hypnosis backed into a corner, and Chaos' heroics will drag them to a set number 5.
This is wild. This is really wild. I love it. I mean, it's crazy to think this is not a match for a Brawl Cup place, but it really is winning our hearts over massively so. It's going the distance. I love to see it. I think this is one that deserves to as well. Challenges on both sides, some great drafting too. It's been really enjoyable to watch.
They made it thanks to Chaos, as you mentioned, Kenny, in that second round of that last
Actually, to everyone
game.
that's watching,
I know.
you
As I
guys
mentioned before, they
celebrate?
already
How do you guys
lost to
celebrate?
Humble 3-2. So for Team Heretics, that set 5 is kind of scary.
do
Last
everything.
time, it didn't go out for them too well. For Eclipse, Papara Supermassive on the other side, they swept Eclipsar in the upper bracket of this month's qualifier to even make it here. 3-0 against Eclipsar, the winners of the March month finals, and now they're struggling against Heretics Arc.
Yeah, it's one that deserves to go to the 5th. I feel like momentum's been swinging back and forth, and Chaos did so well here for his team. He really, really did. And I've got to say again, I feel like if Lenel was present for this monthly finals, then this would be much, much more convincing in favor of Team Heretics. Papara Supermassive are drafting really, really well. That is absolutely keeping them in the game currently. But I feel like the mechanics of Drake, the synergy most important, the chemistry between him and Chaos, it is what's really thriving. Gas is nervous, we can see that. It's no surprise under the circumstances, let's be honest. But to get this far in the series, and like I said, coming
Okay,
into
after
it,
this,
I feel like as time went on, it only
I'ma end
served
stream
to benefit
because
Team Heretics and to give them more confidence. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing. And now going into Dueling Beetles, there's a big question mark as to whether Papara Supermassive are going to be able to seal this now. It's going a little bit down a journey and a tunnel that I don't think that they wanted to go down. They wanted to get this done a little bit cleaner, in my opinion. And Hot Zone's unpredictable. We all know that. And how things can change and turn. Control is everything. On a map like Dueling Beetles, it's really hard to regain that control if you lose it.
It's the showdown between those two teams now. Dueling Beetles can decide over a win or a loss here for both of those teams. It's the 7th versus the 6th spot in the current leaderboard of EMEA. So, Kenny, everything is on the line.
Everything on the line, and to be honest with you, this is the only match with no Brawl Cup ramifications for the entire day. But this has been by far one of the more competitive matches this entire month. I think just so much to prove. And pre-match, pre-show, we talked about this as a unit, but we really had trouble with this one. I nearly picked Team Heretics despite the roster change, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it because every time we have a last-second roster swap has not paid dividends for that team. And obviously, there's still another set to be played. But I haven't been convinced by Sup this year. They just haven't made that leap to me. They haven't jumped or stood out to me as a top 5 roster yet. This is right now a time for them to try and prove me wrong.
Said at the beginning of the show that Drage was the brains behind the draftings, the primary draft of Team Heretics. Well, this is the draft they cannot afford to get wrong. So much pressure has been mounting to this very point, the 5th and final set. And so much to prove. Both these two teams did not qualify last month, and one of them will go for the semi-finals this month.
Brawlers that come into mind here for Hot Zone, especially for Dueling Beetles. Hank again, Lou, just so strong, so impressive. Ollie as well, Stu, and me again. Some of those brawlers we have seen before, some of those brawlers are also taken out already. Lumi B and Ollie bench from the side of the Parson Massive, Carl Buster and Gray from the side of Team Heretics, and they do pick up that Poco.
Why will you pick Poco if Hank, if Ollie is banned?
Once again, Kenny, we've seen
Come
that
on, pick
one
Hank.
quite often yesterday. I'm super excited for this match. I really couldn't tell you. It's going to be a 50-50 who takes it.
With that B being removed too, I think one of the better ways to deal with Poco has now been eliminated. Unfortunately for them, it's by the hands of Sup. I think a very intentional pick here coming out of Team Heretics, one that's great on Dueling Beetles and makes a lot of sense. I like the shout from Chester of you as well. Sometimes we'll see a tank plus Chester, or on the other end, they're going to go Chester because they want to deal with these tanks. Stu also on my mind here. They need some kind of mid, maybe a speed zone, or they can get flexible, kind of like we saw Team Heretics do earlier, and have a wall break if they really want to open this thing up.
Yeah, this Poco first pick to me is definitely a scary one, and Para Supermassive doing the right thing here and battening down the hatches, so to speak. Certainly, I feel like there's other healing ideas. I mean, Barry's still not out of the question here either. I mean, definitely one that's dropped off a little bit, but I mean, we've seen how prevalent it can be on Hot Zone. Bell to mark up tanks to get the shots to ricochet between amongst clustered players, and definitely not a bad shout. What are Team Heretics cooking up here?
Bell, wait.
I wouldn't mind a Barley either as well, talking about some heals, the herbal tonic as well, combined with a tank here. Wouldn't be a bad
I'm confused. Why is Dueling Beetles?
See how Drage is feeling about this draft. I'm assuming that he will be the person dealing out the brawlers here.
He's not Ring of Fire.
But certainly that Chester is the one that on the other side of the field I'm the most concerned about. Is Hank. It's a big, scary tank. And one that it feels like Gas felt pretty comfortable. I think with all the games that we've seen here today, Gas was the most comfortable with that Hank pick. So I'm assuming that it will be him on it. And let's see how we finalize things off.
Hank was kind of the tank I was anticipating, just given the play rate that we've seen this weekend, not only in EMEA, but also East Asia. It's been a popular brawler. Opinions are different amongst pros, but I think it seems like they're coming around on the idea, despite the hypercharge getting a nerf. Going to pair really well. Mo, the other selection. Wow, I think Team Heretics, one of the few teams that have used Mo maybe a little bit more than, say, some of the others. I think people are under the presumption that he's a much better brawler now. But how much better, I don't know that everybody agrees. I think they're probably ranking him somewhere in that A tier, bottom S tier, compared to some of these other teams, just given how much I've seen him played with them.
He can certainly get behind enemy lines quite quickly. I'm not going to fault the method behind the madness. That's the role I kind of wanted to see a bit more, to be honest, on the side of Team Heretics. Normally when it comes to drafts, I'm not too sure of. I've got to put my faith in the person that knows more about it than me. That's how I kind of see this Mo pick. Will it pay off? That's the biggest of questions. And for Team Heretics, they're willing to put everything on this brawler as being the one that's going to make them into the semi-finals here today. So let's see. I think Mo has definitely been elevated since the balance changes for sure. I think there's definitely some brawlers that could have been considered a little bit here and there. Definitely Meeple would come to mind in that regard. But let's see. The barley's a bit scary though. The herbal tonic to really spark that in. I just feel like, well, actually going with the sticky syrup mixer there as well.
Can make a comeback.
Concerned about some of the aggressiveness maybe of the team.
What about Barry?
And I'm not sure that I agree with it.
Right.
Yeah, maybe just trying to prevent an iChaos dive when he burrows under the ground, or just Hank pressing forward. Tomsy on this right-hand dip. Gonna be playing the longer range lane. A lot of times I think I see casual players play that more towards the mid, but you'd rather have your thrower here where they can use that indestructible wall, more close quarters as Drage just marches forward. They're just rotating these health points, and now a last call going out. Filippo gets a kill. Gas just buying time. iChaos now rotating to the point. Great job out of Team Heretics despite members going down, dipping their pinky toes in there, gaining whatever percentage you can.
Yeah, playing the objective, sure, but certainly did pull house cards very swiftly.
First of all,
Trying the dominance, Gas going to fall on this right-hand side. Drage swiftly follows, and this is what I'm talking about. When one member of Team Heretics falls, everyone crumbles. And as quickly as that, edging towards now 50% on the zone for Papara, Supermassive. Gas able to find Filippo here on the right-hand side, shut down by the sticky syrup mixer, and now a hypercharge as well. The last call to be devastating here, and Gas is soaking it up on that right-hand side, going to go down yet again, and it's just that same push and pull, but the result remains the same. It's always Papara Supermassive eradicating their opposition.
There's just so many defensive mechanisms that they've got. They've got these nest eggs. Now that Sup have control, it's going to be harder for Team Heretics to step forward. Gas just can't close this gap. Hypercharge really connects here. Salty drops one of his own, and he needs to stay alive. He's holding on for dear life, gets the double, but here comes iChaos straight out of the tunnel, and it's not enough. Sup take over.
That was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, and the very fact that Salty was able to remain alive for his team long enough to see the demise then was crazy. 100% down now, Papara Supermassive moving on to a match point situation, and I feel like got the draft. I wasn't convinced by the Mo there myself, and I wasn't convinced by the synergy. It felt like, for me, Team Heretics were not solid. They were not safe on the zone, and every time one fell, the others swiftly fell, and you kind of don't want that. You want to have at least a couple of players still there, still present, to make something of a pathway for your teammate to respawn back into the action, not just give complete surrender to the zone.
No easy way for Drage to get these kills as a Poco. That was their first overall selection. It goes great with Hank, can heal teammates, but it's so difficult for him to step forward. The range of Bell, Chester with some high damage, and Filippo could just sit comfortably behind these walls. I just think it's really tough for them to move forward, especially when they lose control. Sure, they have the percentage points now, but as this last game went on, it was much more difficult once Team Heretics members fell.
Salty's playing into the move really well, by the way. I've got to add that to the equation. It's not just that I'm feeling the move, it's that Salty's coming out on top more often than not. So massive credit to him in that right-hand side lane. Drage doing his best to stay on the zone, and Heretics 24%. Looking better in terms of the objective, but I'm still not overly convinced. Gas slowed, marked up, he's going to go down and feed in advance the hypercharged mark onto Drage there as well.
So
good stuff for Papara Supermassive. They've only got 14%, they need to be on the zone a bit longer actually.
But
because they're getting good takedowns, they're getting good aggression, they're not getting the objective.
Gas is just putting a lot of pressure on them, and Salty is winning this lane more often than not. He's just not been able to step into the middle here, and now Drage all by himself, just trying to hold them off as long as he can, buys a little time. Mo back in action here on the right, and here comes Hank on the left. It's a full unit for Team Heretics, but it's a slow climb up for Sup now.
Just a little bit late there on the gadget for Drage to keep the heals coming in for Chaos. He's going to have to respawn back in now, marked up yet again as Tomsy really is being able to bounce his time. Look at that. And now Chaos is going to be in the 1v3, straight into a nest egg 2. It's not looking good, bruv. Now 40% to 60%, and his Team Heretics are starting to fumble the bag a little bit here. They're going to push back. They'll be calculated in that approach as well, and start to secure some takedowns. Drage's going to fall there, gets a heal, but still again a little bit too late. And now that deficit has been closed.
Oh, and now slowed down, and unfortunately goes down to a little bottle coming out of Barley. Drage just forced into a corner as a Poco. This is never a spot you want to be. It's a small lead, but I think it's a lot for Sup. They can really explode here and just hold positioning. Hypercharge goes down right-hand side. Gas pops a super of his own, but the writing might be on the wall, Arc.
It could well be. The time is ticking, and 15% is all that is needed for Papara Supermassive here. Chaos Low, Gas has got to come in straight into the mix. It's one final push for Team Heretics, and it's Gas versus 3. Surely this will be it. Papara Supermassive, they get it done in the fifth and final set. They knock out